Hello friends, Jay the Silent Cartographer here in the afternoon this time, not at 11:59 p.m. trying to record a daily map, and I have something exciting I want to do today. And in order to do it, I need a continent. Continent. Let's generate one and get the water level right. And then generate one until we find something that I think is cool. That's close to what I'm thinking of. That's a nice big open thing there, but I think I'm gonna keep going. Just try to find anything that piques my fancy here. Looking for a really complex shape. It's got a lot going on for it. No. So I know that this is the most fun part of Daily Map, is watching me click through the land generation tool. I know a lot of you are thinking, well, why don't you just draw your own coastline? Because that takes far too long, and these videos already sometimes go to almost an hour, and I would much rather make an hour-long good map than a 3-hour-long perfect one. Although maybe one day I'll really sit down and record me making a map in, like, when I hand draw some assets, bring it into Photoshop, bring it into WonderDraft, and then do like everything by hand and everything very methodically and meticulously placed. Yeah, I'm just not finding a continent that I enjoy the shape of. Maybe reduce the water level a little bit. Maybe increase the detail and the roughness a little bit. Give it some more... It'll mean that we have more cleanup to do in the cleanup phase, but it'll also mean that we'll get more interesting shapes. I'm just going to crank the roughness all the way up to 1. Give it a more interesting coastline. Yeah, I like the idea of this big lake in the middle, but it's just not quite what I'm looking for. It's already been 2 minutes of scrolling through inspiration. No. Too thin. I'm being really picky today. My brain's just like, all these suck. None of these are worth making. I should have stuck with the one that I passed that I said that I liked. Ooh, I mean, it's still too thin, but we can do a little bit by hand here. Because I've got my inspiration now. What we're going to do is we're going to build this up like that, make the continent bigger, because that's kind of what I wanted. Just like this. Maybe even leave that as some lakes in there. I then want to bulldoze my way through here. Not quite like that. I want to bulldoze my way through here. No, like down like that. Yeah. And then now we're getting some interesting shapes here. And I just want to take that down a little bit. I want to cut that off. And now we're going to go into coastline refinement. And I know that this kind of sucks because there's like this big open area over here, which is a cardinal sin. But at the same time, it doesn't really make a difference. Landmass outline, I'm going to change to black for the exact, and I'm going to crank the coastal FX for the same exact reason that I did the other day, is that it points out all these little areas out in the ocean that are land that we don't want. It's a very easy way to see where things have gone wrong, so that you can erase them or fix them. So we'll fix that later. This will not look like a garbled mess at the end of this. Hopefully it won't look like a garbled mess at the end of this. But the problem with using max roughness is that it does give you a very nice realistic coastline, but it also creates a lot of extra effort for you as the map maker to go back in and redo everything. Make sure everything's nice and tidy. So it's our job to just preserve what we like about the map. Preserve what we like about the map as much as possible while getting rid of anything that could later cause a lot of headache and problems for us. Like if we zoom out to 100%, what detail is going to be completely missed? This right here, this little inlet, at 100% is going to be completely missed. So that's another good test to do, is to punch yourself out to what distance your players or your viewer will be seeing your map at, and then you'll be able to see like, oh, what is this? Like up close, this might look like an interesting feature, but from the distance that your map is going to be viewed at, it might look like nonsense, and we want to get rid of nonsense here. So we're just going to open things up more. We're going to make them more pronounced. It's better to exaggerate than it is to cut back on something. If you like the idea of something, like I kind of like the idea of that being a bay, exaggerate that bay. Cut this land portion out a little bit and make it an open area. And then, you know, that little cove there, we can go ahead and we can erase that. And then now from up here, that looks much more natural. But that being said, this area here, I kind of want to do something like that, but that almost looks a little too even. So now I have to make a decision. Do I like this cove or do I like this cove? And I kind of like this here. This looks like Dagger Cove or something interesting. And so we're just gonna get rid of the other one. Gonna get rid of the other one. Go back to 100%. And let's finish with the lakes, because I started with the lakes, so we're gonna take this easy. The first probably 20 minutes of this is just going to be me, and let me say it really quickly. Day 21, 3 weeks, not bad. This first section is going to be me quite literally fixing the coastlines and the rivers of this of this map. But you know, it's an important step. It's a very, very important step. Let's go down to the 1 pixel scale. Actually, I want to look at this from up here. You can see the fact that juts in, so we want to keep that. We want to keep that just like that. That looks good now. That one up there looks good. This lake over here, I don't think there's a reason for it to even exist. This is a mess. This is my professional opinion, that this is an absolute mess. And so we have to think, are we going to simplify or are we going to clean? And I think we're actually going to clean this. It looks like a mess because I have the coastal FX on so ridiculously strong, but I like the way that this looks like a hand reaching out and like touching this other landmass. And so I'm going to actually keep that kind of like that. That could be an interesting terrain feature for our world building. And then we're gonna mess with the coastal FX, and then we're gonna come back to this later. We're gonna do one pass with the FX on really high so we can see the big imperfections, and we're gonna come back through with the coastal FX on really low so we can actually see all the detail and make sure we didn't miss anything. Just clean this out a little bit. All that detail is not gonna be seen from space. Like I'm barely seeing some of this detail at 800%, so at 100% it'll just look like a black blob. Which again is the problem with the super rough coastline setting, is that it will cause this to happen. But it's not really a problem. We just have a little bit more work to do, and you know, a little bit more work for a better map is, in my opinion, usually worth it. Usually worth it. Get rid of these. And I do like some of these coastal islands. I think they give a lot of realism to it. A lot of interesting stuff can be shown through little coastline islands. But the amount of effort you need to put in to clean them up and make them look correct is, generally speaking, more than I'm willing to spend on it. And then here, this little nub right here is a great example of, at 100%, just kind of looks like a black line. So we're gonna widen it up because we don't want to get rid of it. And we're gonna go like that, and then from 100%, it'll look like it's actually a lake. This river here, do we want to connect these two lakes is the big kind of question going on right now. And I would argue that no, we don't. Maybe we want that to be something special as well. There could be a lot of stories that go along there. Like maybe there's a city here, and the city is the only thing preventing the two waters from meeting, and it's been eroding for thousands of years, and maybe it'll fall into the water one day, or maybe it already has fallen into the water, and now it's a ruin, and maybe the Sahagin have taken it over, the fish people, and they Yeah, and then maybe the adventurers have to go and they have to reclaim this castle, or they can go and they can explore the ruins of an ancient civilization that got sucked under the water. Interesting concept. Let's go back to 100%, just look at our coastline. I'm already not liking that. I'm already not liking these little nubs here. We're gonna cut that off. This needs some refinement here. It's too rough. There's a lot of good detail here. If this map was in 4K resolution, I might keep some of that detail, but this is a 1080p map, and it's a map that I'm trying to get done today, so I don't have time to spend a whole day on coastline. Which, I mean, when I do my big maps, when I do my the maps that I spend like a week on or two, I go in and I I spend a whole day on the coastline, and then I spend a whole day on the continent shape, or I spend a day on the shape, a day on the coastlines, a day on all the islands, and I really make sure that these coastlines are correct. But I mean, for daily map, there's really there's no benefit to doing that besides giving me a lot more work. And I mean, the process is essentially what you see me doing now. It's just I'm paying a lot more attention to, like, what do I keep? What do I throw away? How do I make the shape more interesting? How do I make it more natural? How do I add little coastal islands? Maybe tomorrow's daily map, if I wake up early enough and if I don't have a lot to do, I'll do a map with a lot of coastal islands, so I can show the process of cleaning coastal islands up to make them look proper. And who knows, maybe I'll keep this one down here as kind of like an example. So let's look at it at 100%. Yeah, I can leave something like that on to kind of give a sense of the process. I mean, this is also a good example, but now that I'm looking at it, I do want to take the top off of that a little bit. I want to take the side off of this, side off of that. Bring that down, and then today, all day today, I have to spend prepping D&D, because I have a week and a half, a little bit less than a week and a half, before my D&D campaign starts, and I am woefully behind in my preparations. I guess woefully behind is the wrong word for it. I have a lot of my players' backstories have just been finalized, and they want a lot of information about the world to help with their backstories, because we do very involved backstories in our campaigns. Because I'm stupid. Really, I should tell them that they're all farmers and that they come from nowhere and that nobody cares about them, but alas, I am far too heartless to do such a thing. Or far too heartful to do such a thing. Alright. So let's punch this out to 100%. Yep, that works. And then we're going to cut this off. And I said we're going to keep this island. We're going to keep this island down here too. Hard to do this outside of 4K because it's just so blocky and doesn't really look all that interesting. But I mean, it can still be a good learning experience. These coastal effects are getting well out of hand. That's going to be fixed when we turn the coastal effects down, and we do all our water stuff, and then I can get to what I actually wanted to show you guys today, which is that I downloaded an asset that I was complaining about yesterday, I believe it was, or maybe the day before. Probably the day before in my longer map. Yesterday was a manic rush to the finish line. I'm just gonna remove that lake there, and then I think that we've done most of the coastline. Oh, that's just a circle of land. There are hotkeys for yeah, E is erase, but it's erase symbols. I wonder if there's hotkeys for, like, oh yeah, landmass eraser is X, landmass brush is Z. Okay, so that's very useful. See, hotkeys are useful. Wonderdraft is a great program with great hotkeys. You should use it. You should use the hotkeys that they give you. Right, so let me hit Z, let me hit X. Yeah, look how more efficient that was. Look how much more efficient that was. This whole continent actually looks really good. Kind of want to make that solid. Kind of want to make that solid, a little bit more solid anyway. But I really wouldn't change much about that. I would change this, however. I'd get rid of that little nub there. Let's go back to 100%. Let's see where the problem children are. They're over here. Bring that in, cut that off, cut that off, cut that off, cut that off, cut that little nub off there. Cut this off over here, here, here. This little nugget over here is a bit off. And there we go. That's pretty much the coastline done for how much effort we're gonna be putting into this. So let's fix our coastline. Actually, you know what? There is one thing I want to do really quickly, which is lowering this into the water. The reason for that is because I do like the ocean to surround my continent. I don't like to have any area that's not really on the map. So at the very top and the very bottom, I like to, at least for there to be a little bit of water there. We're gonna go back to the water tool. We are going to go to the water texture. I believe today it would look probably best if we did, maybe we'll do that blue imagination again. Maybe we'll go to the water setting and we'll change the hue to blue. Saturate it, drop the value to get that nice dark looking blue. The stain amount on this is actually pretty crap, so we're gonna leave that pretty low, just like that. I think that looks good, except maybe we want to there we go, and then maybe lower the value down a little bit. I want the water to be a little darker. For this, although maybe something like that's pretty good. This very well might turn into a pastel color map. So we're gonna go land. We're gonna go ground texture. I think paper is probably gonna be where we're going here. We're gonna crank down the coastal effects distance, and wow, does that not just immediately look better? And wow, does that not immediately also show what parts of the coastline really work and what parts of them don't? And so we're now going to go through and we're going to do our second pass of... Excuse me, why can't I zoom? That's interesting. My middle mouse button has... There we go. Failed me. This whole area here I think we can just remove. I think that's fine. This area in here we can cut out. And then I saw some other stuff I didn't quite like. This here looks too round. Looking at it at 100% here. This area in here is a bit too muddy still. So we're just going to change that. And then out here at 100 again. This right here at the end here. Just like that. And then this, of course, over here is also wrong. Wrong! There we go. Okay, so that looks great. We're going to go to the land, not the land generation tool, but just the land. We're going to go ahead and we're going to crank our FX distance a little bit, and we're going to go to the pattern that we want. I'm thinking dash pattern just because it matches the... But I hate how the dash pattern, like if you want it to go into the water, you also have to have the black go into the land. Or, oh, sorry, no, you don't. You can go like this, but I mean, it still has this really gross, dark texture to it. And I wish that if you set the outline blend to 100%, it would just completely disappear and just give you the outside effects. So, like, in order to get that finger up there to look right, we'd have to do something like that. Which, at that point, why even have the little squiggles? Because you can't even see them. So why don't we go, like... uniform outline, coastal FX distance, just like that. And instead of that, we're going to take, once again, our darkest sea color, which is this dark blue here, and we're going to make it darker, 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 a dark purple. And then that'll blend into the background, and then the coastline color, we are going to take our lightest color, and we're going to make it a little bit darker. Just a little bit here, just to give that outline. Landmass outline, I do think we're going to push it a little bit more towards black. And then for the coastline color, I'm also going to drop the alpha to around 50%, and then I'm going to make it a little bit darker. And that'll give that nice punch to it. And then we can even go to the water settings, and we can devalue the water a little bit, and it'll look a little bit better. Although, you know, maybe we'll do even something even brighter. Maybe we'll do a really bright, happy map. It kind of fits the idea that I had for today's map anyway. And so with that being said, maybe we'll change the landmass outline to something a little bit more on the blue spectrum, the coastline a little bit darker, just to give it that kind of outline. Because contrast is your best friend. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. Maybe even crank the alpha down a little bit more, make it a little bit more defined. Just like that, we have all these interesting little shapes here. And then the last thing we want to do is we want to shrink the coastal FX distance until everything is completely separated. This is a very important step. You want your channels to be channels, you want your islands to be islands. So we're just going to crank that down a little bit. Although at 100%, that also means that we really can't see the outline of the coast, which is one of the reasons I dislike having such small islands, but I think we can cheat and we can kind of push that open a little bit, and then that'll look fine. Colors! Okay, colors. This is going to be a big one. Let's grab our paint bucket tool, and let's go down to those lovely, lovely, bright, vibrant farmland colors. This farmland green here, that is jet black. That is not farmland green. That is... Oh, puppy's drinking some water. I'm sorry if you can hear that in the background. You know, let's just fill everything with this nice green color. And then we want to add a little bit of other color to this. We want to add some browns. And I'm thinking that this coastline here is going to be mountainous. And so we want this to be kind of this reddish brown. We're going to cut the opacity down to like 30%. And then we're going to blend it into the green, just like this. We're going to grab our yellow, also at a very low opacity, and we're going to give a little belt of farmland down here, like that. And then we're going to take this red, and we're just going to tint this island a little bit, just give it a little bit of that. I am noticing now that this brown is far more aggressive than I wanted to, so it's a simple fix. We're just going to take the green from over here. We're going to repaint this area green, just like that. We're going to take the dirt color that we took before, which I believe is this one. We are going to then cut the opacity down, and we're just going to brush that on, just like this. And then now it looks a lot more unnatural. That looks horrendous. That looks horrendous. So we're like something like that looks much better. Something like that looks much better. Just like that. And then we're gonna grab the green and we're gonna blend the yellow a little bit because I can really notice that yellow. And if my colorblind self can recognize that that's yellow, I'm sure all of you guys are screaming at me about how yellow that is. I'm gonna go ahead and put some harsher color on this island just to make it look that little bit more. I'm gonna blend some of this down with some yellow. And then now we are gonna get to the meat and potatoes of this map. And that is that I finally found the tree symbol that I was looking for all of my life, which is this style of little like hash-lined tree blobs that are super duper approachable. If you ever want to draw like a hand-drawn map, this is a great way to do it. Let's find our scale though, and I think our scale is going to be something around 20. And this isn't a perfect solution, but it is a pretty damn good one. And so what I'm going to start doing here is building a forest. And this is going to take me a while, because I have not used this stamp before in my life. I have not once used this stamp, and it while it does seem like magic, it also does seem a little bit finicky. Especially given the fact that you can't really... Like, I wanted it to be like a brush, like on the land, where you can just paint on the forests and have everything kind of work itself out. And this is certainly not that. This is certainly not at all that. But this is also an amazing tool that you can use as artists to make interesting shapes and forests. And so we shall. And so we shall spend. Ooh, big chunk of forest right there. That's nice. I needed that piece. Maybe make this go up a little bit more. This is part of the back of it. And see, this is kind of what I'm talking about, where it's like these stamps, since their specific shapes, are only going to be useful in very specific situations. And these situations may not be the situations that you need these trees in. But we're gonna make do with it. We're gonna try our best. We're not gonna complain, and we're gonna make an awesome little forest out of these trees. Although I now have no idea what I'm gonna do with that portion over there. Although this kind of fits right there like that. And then if we go to selection tool and grab this and just delete it, that looks fine. If you go to the trees again and we just scroll through, I want some of these big stamps here just to fill in some of the area. Come on, there we go. There's the big one. That's too big for that area, but it's just right for this one. This is exactly what we need for down here. Just like that. It's not what I'm looking for. This is nice. This is very nice. Maybe we can go up like that and then down like that. And then something like that would look correct. Maybe even do something like that, like a little entrance to the woods there, moving some things around just to kind of fit the bill. And then this will connect that area to this area. We'll go back to our selection tool. We'll just delete that. And we'll start looking for the thing to connect them all, and I think that's the thing that's going to connect them, and I think that this area of trees is done. We're going to grab our little square thing of trees, which I need to figure out if there's a setting to allow you to just select a single stamp in a set of them. I'm sure there is. I'm absolutely positive that there's a way to only select the trees you please from your stamp, because that would make this a lot easier than trying to scroll through them. Okay, just put that there. Okay, that's one little forest area, and now you see how long this video is going to take, because we are going to do dense forests, but we are going to do dense forests with these awesome tree stamps. So let's keep cracking at it. Let's get to work. And let's see what we can come up with. First things second, though, I do want to add a settlement, and I think I'm going to use the settlement stamps here for this. And I'm going to tint them a different color at the end of it, but I like the idea of the settlement stamps here today. Although from 100%, that settlement looks very pathetic. So maybe we'll go with 35 for the scale here, and we'll put it just like that. Oh, that even looks too sizable, too large, for really what I'm looking for. So maybe we'll just go with symbols. Let's crank this up, make it black. I know black doesn't really look great on nice colorful maps, but it should give a little bit of punch to things. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to drop a settlement right here. We're going to go back to our tree brush, and we're going to... This was at 20 before, so we're going to keep it at 20 now. I kind of like that. Maybe like a smaller wooded area here. Just like something along the lines of this. See, that would be great there, but instead we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this maybe here. That maybe there. And we don't want this piece. We don't want to shrink it either. We want, I mean, this piece here can certainly be a part of it. Just like that. Just like that. And that's not what we need. That's what we need at all. I wish I could rotate this the other way. Here we are. That's exactly the piece I needed. Or actually, that was the exact piece that I needed. So that will basically close this up. And I think if we go into our selection brush, we just move some things around. We have an entire new forest. There we go. Now we need one very specific piece. We need this one, the small square. We need it again. Yeah, right there. Bam! We got ourselves a forest. Gonna go ahead, scale this to 20. We're gonna make just this. Oh, there is just like a kind of standalone little brush spot. That's nice. We're gonna use our favorite. We're gonna spin it around though, so it's a little bit less conspicuous. Now we're looking for maybe the back of a forest, just like that. No, that doesn't really look correct. Maybe we do something like this. I do like these little solo forests that they've got going on here. Just adds a little bit of flavor. So maybe we put one down over here. This seems almost like exactly what we're looking for. But that's what we're looking for right there. And then we're looking for. We can scale that down. They'll notice that, and look at that. That looks great. I now want a larger forest, kind of up here. Maybe we'll make the corner of it somewhere over there. We'll make it go up like this. This is a nice piece to put right there. This is a nice piece to put right there. This is a very nice piece to put right there. Let's just start filling that in while we can. Get that piece. And this piece, actually, let's not use that piece quite yet. I want this piece. Is there a place for this piece anywhere? Not really, no. Not really, no. So we're gonna go ahead and shuffle on through. Looking for backwoods. Backwoods works like that. Maybe something like that, and then a small piece of. I mean, even something like that would kind of work, and then grab this, move this. Oops, that doesn't look right at all. Kind of connect that like that. Move this over here like that, and then suddenly it looks a little bit like it belongs there. Grab this small woods tile, do that. Big woods tile, useless. There we go. Let's give a save real quick. Let's give a save as real quick and do like 21 backup, just so that we don't screw this up. But I mean, this is gonna be a hell of a process today doing this. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start laying down. Oh, we got some of our nice little solo forests. We still have this little bit over here, which needs a back to it. We'll get to that. This will be kind of the end of that. This is a very nice piece to go right here. This is a very nice piece to go right here. That's always useful. Just kind of like this. I feel like that's almost too even for over there, so we're going to skip that piece. Is this the backing piece we need for over here? Kind of is. Put it like that. Maybe use this to push that down even further. Bring it. I mean, I could either bring it down further or I could start bringing it back up. I think I'm going to start bringing it back up. This is going to go like this, and I need a hard corner like that. Yeah, look at that. And then big chunk of forest, put it right there. That's too much. It's far, far too much. That doesn't really fit there. Can abut that like that. It'll look pretty correct. You know, this piece right here, I feel like while it's a really nice piece of woods, we can delete that. Let's keep it at size 20. And I mean, this I'll take, but I want something to bridge this gap, and I think we've just found it. I think it's that piece. And then I need some back corner stuff going on here. Yeah, just like that. This is a nice long open wood. But I need more of that back wood than I need anything else right now besides maybe filler pieces. Yeah, here's some backwood, just like that. Does this go too low? Yeah, I think this goes too low. I think having that come up like that's better. Placing that here, that's an easy one. This goes over here. It's like doing a puzzle. I like puzzles, so this is lovely. And then you know what we can do is we can delete that piece right here, replace it with that piece right there, and then have a very nice. This is that piece right there. We can have a very nice little. And then if we do that, that basically works. Then we just need to get our squares. Yay, square! I want to put one there. I want to put one here, but I need the small square. Here's a small square. Small square, and yay, there we go. Look at that, forest. And then I guess like one big patch down here would make sense. I want to start with that. I want to start with the outline. I guess we can put that like that. I guess we can definitely put that like that. This like that. Oh geez, yeah, this goes right here easily. I don't think I want that to go down that far, so we're gonna skip over that piece. I think that's about as far as we want it to go down. I think we can curve it around like that. This would almost be perfect for like right here. Then we've got the other corner piece to kind of go here. We've got some little backwoods portions here, which is nice. We can put that there. This little straightaway is nice, although I don't like too straight. I don't like too straight in that instance. Some vertical forest, don't need. I need horizontal. This is horizontal. That kind of adds that. This is a large section of back rank woods, which is nice. Maybe do something even like that. We can do something very easily like that, and then we can put this in here, and then we can put this here. Maybe not that there. There's one piece that I think I need here, and it's this piece right like that. Then now all I need is back rank stuff and squares, and we'll be pretty well on our way here. So we're gonna grab that piece like that. We're gonna hopefully get some outline stuff. Come on. Yeah. Here we go. Straight away like that. Straight away like that. And we're so close. We're so close. Come on. There we go. Nice, 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 nice. Just like that. And then now we just need squares. Squares should be fairly easy, especially if you get the big ones. Big ones are super nice. Big one's super nice. Where are my squares? Is this not just the most invigorating daily map? I think that I'm actually more bored doing this than I am clicking individual trees. So maybe I'll find something to talk about in the middle of all this all the middle of all of this mess. I did have an exciting package delivery today. I ordered some Hero Forge miniatures made of brass for a huge exorbitant amount of money, and it was actually characters from my novel that I designed on Hero Forge just because I wanted to see what they would look like in my head. And one of them came out exactly how I thought he would look in my head. And the other two were kind of crap, but I ordered them in a batch of 3 because they were having a sale on the bronze figures, where normally the bronze figures are like $100 each. I think they were like 50 when I bought them. But I mean, it's incredible, the detail, and just like holding something in your hand that's like from your world or from your story. It's one of the reasons why I like commissioning artwork of my D&D campaigns so much, is because like seeing things that happened like that, just it's such an interesting and awesome feeling. Okay, I need some of these standalone forest nuggets for this forest nugget, that forest nugget, and then well, here's the standalone forest nugget. We'll flip it around. We'll put it here. I need a. I need this size 20. Stick it in there. Yeah, just like that. And we're almost there, surprisingly, because I mean this entire map isn't going to be forest. This entire map is not going to be forest. There's going to be some forests that go up along here, some forests that go down here, one forest over here, one forest over here, and then we're done and we're on the mountains. So I mean, while we are 41 minutes in, geez, I did not even realize that it had been that long. This is not too far off the end of the forests. This is not too far off the end of the forests. And especially if we're getting every single piece that we need in the exact order that we need it in. It's like, look at this. Now we're cruising through this forest because we got lucky. Everything we needed, we got. Everything we needed, we got. And we're gonna scroll past that piece. But see, now that we're looking for very particular pieces, we're not gonna be able to find them. We're looking for something for that back corner there. I believe we've just found. Just like that. Then we're looking for a large back corner piece for over here. So, you know, maybe we can do something along the lines of that. And then, you know, complain and you shall receive. Now we just need the filler. Each of these square pieces here. Take that out while I can. Trying to make sure that I don't overlap with the ground. There are some areas here that are still the ground color, but it's okay. We do need a small square now for this last spot. And unfortunately, with a puzzle where you can only pick up random pieces, sometimes it requires some soul searching to find the exact piece we're looking for. Yes, okay. Oh, was startling. Wonder Draft save noise scares me again. It really is such an alarming noise. I don't know why they why they made that so jolting, so arresting. Something like that, yeah, something like that. With something like that kind of shoved on top of it. I'm trying to think, because like all these are rectangular. All these are very rectangular. And so I think I'm actually going to delete this and delete this. I'm going to make this one a little bit more oblong. I'm going to make it turn back out and just kind of cruise out along this diagonal here. Just like this, and then up a little bit, and then now over bushes. And then we're gonna go ahead and do the same exact thing over here, where we just kind of make it go up and around. This piece has no use. Well, that's not true. It has plenty of uses, but no use right now. I'm sorry, trees. I didn't mean it. We're gonna put that like that. fill that in while we have a chance to. Maybe do something like that. Get rid of these because we don't need this right now. Square is always useful. That would be an interesting thought, but not one that I'm willing to entertain right now. We're not really looking for... this is useful, though. Ugh. Very useful. Very, very useful. We can go with that. And then we just need one of those long, straight back pieces that we kept getting. There we go. And then now we just need squares. Square, 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 squares. Square. Need maybe 3 of them. We need maybe 1 more square piece. That's not a square piece. That's too big of a square piece. Here we are. There we go. There we go. Look at that. See, that looks so much more natural. And then maybe we can do 1 more that kind of bends the other way up here. And then we can put these little... you know, actually, I like those little solo forests a lot. But I have to remember that using them is very dangerous. Using them is very dangerous because they will all look identical. That's the problem with stamps. That's the reason why I encourage hand-drawn as much as one is physically able to. I know that not everyone has artistic talent. I certainly don't have very good at artistic talent. But like you can see this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one are all identical, and so that kind of looks off to those who might choose to view it. Might choose to view that. Oh, my trees are too small. I am just gonna put like a little capstone going over to this area over here. Yeah, this piece is probably better for what I'm looking for. Pull that down like that. Can I get some actual trees now, please? Thank you. I'm gonna put this down. We're gonna grab these and get rid of them. I'm gonna come back to here. That looks completely great. This is exactly what I needed. Now all that's left to do now is to rearrange this to make sense, and we're done with this forest. And sometimes that's all you need to do, you know? Sometimes you'll have all the right pieces, you just kinda gotta change a few things to get it to look right. And I mean, in that instance, that's exactly what we needed to do, was just to change one thing. And then I'm even gonna shrink that down and put it there. It's not gonna look exactly right, but no one's gonna notice. I'm gonna use our big tree stamp like that. Little one over here. Little one over here. We need 1 more right here. I'm just now noticing that this is completely wrong, so we're gonna go ahead and tree stamp. Perfect! And, you know, just to kind of give us a break from the monotony really quickly here, as we now crest 45 minutes, we're gonna give a save. We're gonna save as our backup. And we're gonna toss down some mountains. I actually think that the best mountains for this style of map is going to be this this almost cartoony style of mountain that we used 2 days ago. These mountains were just such a fantastic fit for that style of kind of pastel map, and this is in a similar vein. And so as we're creating our mountain range here, I think this is exactly what I want. I know this is exactly what I want, which is why I'm doing it. And we're just gonna snake these mountains all the way from coast to coast. Maybe we're gonna end them here. We are gonna go to our little hills here that all kind of look the same, so we kind of have to make sure we spread them way out, because they will not look proper otherwise. And unlike a lot of my other maps, we're actually not going to add any hills here, and the reason for that is because this is a very clean map. This is very like, these are mountains, this is forest, and foothills do a great job of blending forest to plains, but we're not looking to blend here, we are looking to impact. And so we're also going to make a little train of mountains going down this way, just like that. We're going to put some along the coasts, just like this. We're going to take our smaller... That's not right. We're going to take our smaller mountains, and we're just going to go like that. Because this is I don't want to use the word cartoony because I don't think it's proper, but this is a very stylized representation of the surrounding area. This is not a map in the sense of like an accurate map, a topographical map of a continent. This is a map in the sense of somebody has taken the artistic liberty to create a map. And so now basically everywhere else will be tree. We're going to do one forest that kind of dips down in here. We might leave some area open. We're definitely going to do a forest over here. We're definitely going to fill this area in with forest, and then we're going to do a little bit up here, and we'll be done. So we're nearing the end here. We have scale 20 for our forests, as that is what we've been using for the entire time, except for when we haven't, but that's because we know when to break the rules. So many people ask when. I mean, they don't ask. Obviously, they don't ask me, but from watching a lot of map making tutorials and such, apparently a common question is, when do I break the rules? And the answer to the question, when do I break the rules, is once you know the rules. If you know the rules and you understand why they are rules, that's the most important thing. Is you have to understand not only that there are rules, but why the rules exist in the way they do. Once you understand that, you have a very unique situation where you can understand why to break them. For example, a lake will never have two rivers leading from it, but it may have multiple rivers leading to it. Why? Well, that's because the idea or the principle of the path of least resistance. The water wants to find the simplest path out of the basin that it's inside of, and so to do that, it will employ a river. It will find a way to get out, and it will get out. And so the rule is that there's generally only one river out of a lake, but many different rivers could collapse in a lake depending on where that lake is in the elevation of the area, etc., etc., etc. So, when would you have a lake with multiple exits? Well, one of the big answers is if there's a ton of water going into the lake. If for whatever reason your lake has like 7 colossal whitewater rapids pouring into it, there's a good chance that the lake is not draining naturally, but it's draining because it's overflowing. And draining because of overflow is certainly a reason why there would be multiple rivers out of a lake. Certainly would be a reason as to why there would be multiple rivers out of a lake. Sorry, I'm thinking about the placement of these forests with all my might here. I mean, another thing is like, where are mountains? Why do tectonic plates work the way that they do? And I mean, it takes a lot of time and effort to learn that, to learn how the Earth forms and functions. But like learning all of those different theories as to why the Earth moves the way it does will allow you to make better continental maps. And so maybe on top of doing a map with small islands, maybe I should also do a map that follows continental drift theory. Because I've actually, in my infinite nerdiness, have bought textbooks or purchased textbooks on geography, geology, and plate tectonics, and I've studied these textbooks in the hopes of being able to make continents that make logical sense from a scientific standpoint. And kind of breaking your continent up into plates, understanding which plates are pushing in which directions and what that means for your societies. Who is going to have earthquakes? Who is going to have mountains? Who's going to have volcanoes? What will happen when X, Y, or Z happens? Like, these are all interesting questions that you can answer with plate tectonics. This forest over here, just to kind of get back on track from this horrendous segue, is going to wrap around the entire top of the island here. It's going to go all the way over to here. That's a nice piece to get right now. That's a very nice piece to get right now. That's a very nice piece to get right now. That's a very nice piece to get right now. All the luck coming our way right here. We're gonna go ahead and... No, we don't want that piece actually. And this piece I'd like to put over here, like that. This piece I'd like to put up here. Maybe that piece goes down like that. Maybe this curves around. This is kind of useless to us right now. That fits really well. That fits super well. And then we can go ahead and we can grab this. We can move it off. We can move that up like that. And then just like that, we can find a new home for that piece. We can go back to our forests. And come on, there has to be a place for... You know, I'm starting to see a problem. There is a single problem with one of these pieces, and the single problem is that we have to go to land, we have to go to brushes, we have to go to our lovely green farmland, which I believe is this one, and just change that color. We're going to go back to symbols, we're going to save our work, we're going to save as our backup as well. We are going to go ahead and... Here we go. Straight trees. That's what I was looking for. And that little block is basically done, but I kind of want to mess with it a little bit. Kind of want to kick that piece out a little bit, and then I want to kind of go up there. So let's see if we can't make something happen with that. This is gonna be very odd set of pieces here to make this work, but I think we can do it. Let's get that in place early and then do that. And actually, I think that just does it. Perfect. We're not going to do anything in this area here. We can actually go back and hand add some trees. But we're not going to add any tree in here. We're not going to add any tree in here. We're going to do one area down here, though. I promise that'll be useful later. Put that there, store that down there. What we can do is we can flip it around, do something like that, and then we just need to move this down. My voice is starting to get a little scratchy because I've been talking for 45 minutes straight. It's okay though. Oops, didn't want to do that. We're gonna go ahead and actually, can we hide this behind the mountains? We can. Oh Lord, look at that. That is awesome. Absolutely awesome. We're gonna make that go up there. We're gonna throw this piece out a window because it doesn't really work. That does though. I'll put that up there to kind of give ourselves a guide of where we want to wind up with this forest eventually. Look at this, Wonder Draft just giving us everything we need and then some. Maybe do something like this. This piece actually could go down here like that, and then we can use the mountains to hide our ugliness down there. This piece here is probably going to need to be completely redone, but that's fine. We'll go with something like that right now. We'll get scared by the saving noise again. Always seems to happen to me. There's really no reason for this piece either right now. And this nice big flat piece actually could potentially help, but not really. I think that this is probably what we needed, which is something like that, and taking this and deleting it and moving this into this spot here. Back to trees, we want to turn this around, and then we want to go on the back row. I think we only need back row pieces at this point, which is pretty nice to have that problem. Just like that. That's not a good piece. There we go. This is the exact piece I needed for over here, so I'm not going to squander that messing around. I don't like how straight this back rank has gotten because of the lack of curved back rank pieces. So we can go ahead and we can solve that problem just by doing that. And now at this point, what we need is squares. We need lots and lots of big squares. And you know, I'm starting to think that there has to be a way to not have it change the symbol upon placement. There has to be a way. But I am ignorant to that way, and I don't have time to do a Google search. As we're already an hour into this video, this is probably actually going to be the longest daily map, now that I'm thinking about it. Because I believe that the second longest daily map is 120 minutes. And I don't think we're going to be done in 20 minutes. I mean, I certainly could eat those words. I certainly could eat those words. And finish in the next 20 minutes, or Wonder Draft could crash, or OBS could crash, or I run out of hard drive space and have to delete my recordings. I hope that doesn't happen. I don't know what I would do if there was a recording error in daily map. And then this, I mean, the other reason I wanted this to be a brush is so that I didn't have to go and play puzzle with all the floor space here to try and make it look half okay. Like that. Zooming out, it's still very square, which I'm not a massive fan of. Still horrendously square, but you know, this is my first time working with these stamps. I'm sure I'll get better with it over time. Or I'm sure that a new tool will come out and it will be better than these stamps, or different than these stamps. And it'll help me do my work a lot more the way that it is in my head. But for now, I think that looks good. I think I'm going to actually do a tiny bit of forest over here. Maybe just like even a 3-piecer, something like the epitome of keep it simple, stupid. Just boop, boop. And then now we just need that, and then that, and then that's nice and done. We have the woods over here, we have the woods down here, and we have the woods right here, and then we have placing all of the settlements, and then we'll be done. So we're not as close to the end as maybe I would have liked to be, but we're also not far from it either. We're not far from the end, my friends. Just want to drop as many of those up there as possible to kind of blend the forest in, because I don't think I'm doing too great of a job of it, but you know, that's what learning's for. This is a learning experience. I love learning, so it certainly helps. And I mean, the point of daily map is to do things that I've never done before. So here we go. Here's something I've never done before. Making a map with these tree stamps. Only these tree stamps by the looks of it. I really dislike how uneven they look because of the square stencil that you have to use to fill it in. I mean, the person who comes around and makes a mod for Wonder Draft that is literally a forest brush will knock my socks off and will save me so much time. I was gonna say there's one piece I need, and then I found it instantly. You know what we can also do is we can go back to the mountains and we can grab the cartoony mountains. We can scale them up a bit. We can actually cheat. What we can do is we can make another mountain range, which means we have less trees to place. And it also lets us link together our mountains here. Just like that. And then suddenly we have so much less work to do. that it's insane. It's insane how much less work we have to do when I cheat. That's the end of that sentence. When I cheat and I give myself a free little bit of work right here. That's probably gonna have to be that. And then come on, big square, big square, big square. Right there. Little square, big square. Yeah, this back ridge can be fine in there. Actually, that kind of looks cool. And then we need a back corner for this, which is that. And then I think we need like a little bit right here, maybe a little one kind of not so square over here, and then this one right here, and then we're basically done with this whole continent of forests. And so I'm super happy with that. I'm super pumped up about that. Something like that even, and then something like that happening. Something like that, and then connecting these with that, and no, that doesn't fit. That does. Do something like that, and then I need a corner piece. I also do need this, so I'll go ahead and take that when we can get it. Corner piece, I need a corner piece. Back corner piece, thank you. Okay, now again, need more back rank pieces. I hate these giant straight ones just because they force everything to be so uniform and square, and it's kind of awful, actually. Kind of, if not completely awful. But I mean, now that I've kind of understood, and here's a late minute optimization, that I can use these back ranks to kind of make some interesting shapes inside of the forest here. Like, what's that? That's cool. And maybe I can even shrink this down and use it like something like a smaller stamp here to fill in some of the area. And then that looks really cool and really unique compared to the other forests. So that looks very cool. We need, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we've already done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So even though we're an hour in, we are well over halfway done. Well over halfway done, geez. I'm just gonna add some texture to this now that I've kind of learned something about these back rank pieces being able to layer over. But we are now gonna move on to this next section, which is going to be a very important one. As it's going to be going all the way from top to bottom. Grab this weird foot-looking piece down here. Do we want this to be going down, or do we want to just keep it here? I think we just want to keep it here. We'll use this for texture, or not. Thanks, Wonder Draft, appreciate it. This is a back piece, so we'll use it in the back. This is another back piece, so we'll use it in the back. This is a front piece, so we can use it right here. Kind of make this an interesting shape that's not super uniform and straight. Same deal with that. This piece here, oh, well, we lost it, so this piece here will definitely fit somewhere down here. This will fit here easily enough. This will fit in there easy enough. this like that. This long piece can go down with this other piece, can be switched around and put next to itself. We can do that. We can grab this piece and we can use that to fill in there. Kind of go like that, and we can finish that off nice and square. Kind of want to add a little nugget of trees down here, like this. That won't really work. We need a back right hand corner piece. Go with that. And we need a front corner piece. That would almost work, actually. Do something like that, and then try to... Actually, can we just delete this one completely and then do that? Yeah, we can. Once again, need to fill in this big section of land with a square and back rank tree. Still perpetually annoyed at the way that these stamps kind of work when it comes to filling in space. Need squares. Where are they? They're there. And yeah, the squares are erasing some of the detail, which sucks because layers, but it's okay. It's alright. I'm fading out here. I'm losing my creative drive to finish this map. I feel like the commentary even this time has been kind of lacking, as I've not really talked about anything other than the fact that I've been putting down all these trees. But, you know, not all of them can be winners, and I mean, I think on the whole, the map looks interesting. I zoomed out, and the first thing that came to my mind is crap, but we don't really have to worry about it. It's okay. I think the reason that I think it looks crap is because I like the way that all these look here, but just the uniformity of these blocks of trees really do kind of break the immersion that this is some sort of fantasy world. But I'm not really sure how to go about fixing something like that without putting a lot of effort into like selecting the absolutely perfect stamp for every single bit of tree, and that would take all day. So we want to bring this section of trees all the way up to here. At some point, we want to walk it up, just like that. I love how I say at some point, like it's going to require some sort of massive effort to do it, and then it just kind of happens. It's delightful. Absolutely delightful. We want that to go up here, so we're going to do that. I don't want these straight pieces of forest. This is what's ruined the first part of this, is that all the pieces are straight. I mean, it doesn't look natural at all. It looks like blocks. I don't want blocks of trees. I want nicely fluffy, rounded trees. It's a shame that the stamp pack isn't really conducive to that, but it's still okay. It's not awful. The trees are the drawings are of good quality. It's I guess I'm used to using these kinds of trees in hand-drawn maps where I have a lot more freedom than Wonderdraft maps, which is to be understood. I mean, it is Wonderdraft. It is not hand-drawn. It's not trying to be hand-drawn. And, I mean, I'm of the opinion, at least in the terms of cartography, that Wonderdraft will never be the same as drawing a hand-drawn map. And I might catch some flack for that, but there's so much detail that you can add with your hands that you just can't with stamps, in my opinion, that really Wonder Draft just will never be able to capture at all. Stuff like clouds hugging around the tops of mountains, snow-capped mountains that are at the same time the same color as the land. Like coloring is way easier in the real world than it is in the Wonder Draft universe. Just because you're able to do complex shading and stuff like that on your trees, on your mountains, on your ridge lines, you're able to do shadows a lot better. Whereas with Wonder Draft, you're very much a slave to what your asset packs allow you to do. But you know, it's a lesson in creativity where it's like, well, what can you do with these? And I mean, if Daily Map has taught me anything, it's that you can do a lot with the default stuff. And see, like I'm really liking all of these trees that we've got going on over here, and then just this area in here just looks like a blob of boring straight lines, and like every fiber of my being is like, change it, but it's already been an hour and 15 minutes, brain. I can't go back and change it. I do want to go and whenever I can add those little bunches of trees though. I'm gonna put this here, we're gonna maybe put that there, we're gonna maybe fluff that around there, or maybe gonna put that here, maybe we're gonna put this one over here, and then now that we have little corner trees, we've got the little nub trees, little camel toe trees over there. I don't know what else to call that shape. Maybe put that down like that, then maybe move this down over here. A shape like that could be interesting. We'll wrap this around like this, grab this, and I don't really want to put two of those things next to each other because it'll be too obvious that that they're the same stamp. That's a nice way to cap that off though. And then we just need backline stuff that is not straight lines, because that's the secret to this, is to break up the straight lines. Like, I could do this, but it wouldn't look right. So we're going to use this in the middle. Let's go with something like that. Let's go with something like that. And then, ooh, that's useful. And maybe we'll go with something like that, then maybe we'll shrink that down to get a little bit finer details, and then we'll go something like that, and then we have trees. Click that there. Where's the square? Find the square. That's the game we're playing today, so find the square brush. And like, I don't care about the long straights if I put it in the middle of the trees, because it gives the trees a lot of cool texture. I care about them on the ranks here, because like this forest looks infinitely more interesting than this forest here. This forest looks way more interesting than this forest. I really like the way this one turned out with all the little leaves poking out through it. And so I think that's the secret to it, is to texture it a little bit differently, a little bit better. I am, however, going to try to drop in, being the operative word here, a little bit of a... Need that back corner piece again. There we go. And then shrink it down, make it fit. Yeah, there we go. All right, we have officially one more forest to do, which is the one right over here. We're going to go ahead and save. We're going to save as. And we're going to save as our backup. Day 21 backup. Actually, I think I was working on the backup. That's always a good thing to do. Just work on your backup instead of your regular folder. So I'll switch that back. And see, I want this one to be interesting because I want this to surround these mountains here. So I'm going to try to do that. But how do I do that is the question. You know, the only way to find out how to do that is to do it. The only way to find out how to do it is to, in fact, do it. See, now I need back rank pieces again, because I need to fill in the back rank with, leave that there for now, um, with leaves to kind of obfuscate the fact that this that these are here. So maybe we'll go with something like that. And this will look wrong. Like this will, to your eyes, look wrong until it's done because of the optical illusion of the mountains now being underground. Because if you surround an area with inward-facing trees, it'll make it look like the whole continent's the forest. So it looks like these mountains are underground right now, which looks very, very wrong. But once we actually connect the two instances of trees, then we're going to start having better results. And then this is where things, or this is really going to be a puzzle. More than any other trees we have made thus far today, this is going to truly be a puzzle. This is going to call upon every single ounce of tree stamp knowledge that we've accrued over the last hour and a half to make this not look crap. And you know, it might look like crap, and that's okay. Because again, this is a learning experience for me. I've never done this before. After today, I have done this. So if I ever want to add something like this to a map, I'll know exactly what to do. And there's nothing cooler than knowing exactly what to do. Put that little tree nub up there. Okay, so where are my trees ending? That's a great question to ask. Where's the end here of this tree line? That's kind of the end of that tree line there. This is all going to be in the woods. Oh, this is a headache. This is an actual headache waiting to happen right here. So this is all going to be tree. And then this is going to be the edge of the tree, needs to go straight down like that. This is going to come over here. Hopefully that goes behind the trees, and it does. Maybe we can do something like that. Yeah, there we go. And having the trees behind, or having the mountains behind the trees, definitely sells the fact that that the trees are in fact that the trees are taller than, or the mountains are taller than the trees. Sorry. So we're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with that. Change this to this right there. Fill that in. We're gonna fill this in. Perfect. Okay. Now we need this back rank here. That doesn't really fit there. Need that to be the other way. This kind of works, but then how am I going to wrap it around to that side? Yeah, I think I need to find that side first. I think I need to find that piece before I find, and then this piece here. Yeah, let's scale that up and slap that in right there. Scale that back down and put it in here. And I mean, hopefully when I zoom out, this looks good. If it doesn't, then I'll just cry in a corner and call it a day. But, so we've already done this outside edge. We need this whole outside edge over here, which is all going to be back rank. And it's all going to be curved back rank, which of course is the hardest stuff to find because there's not that many of them. You know, we can do something like that, yeah. We can drop this in here for some texture. We can drop this like that for some texture. That. And then that. Then like that. And like that. Come on, we're so close. We need such a small number of shapes at this point. And I mean, I am noticing that they're all in the same order when I'm scrolling through them, so it's slightly easier to find them now. But the order is randomized when you place one of them. All right, so that's going to be the big cell right there. Another one. Come on. Give me that, like that. Let's shrink that and put that there. Let's grab a square, put that there and there. Let's go ahead and let's see where do we still need shapes here? We need one that kind of comes down, yeah, almost like that. And then we just need one of these or something. Yeah, there we go. And then now if we zoom out, it looks pretty crap. I can't lie, it does not look great. It does not look great at all. But we did it, and that's what we can take solace in, the fact that we did it. So this is definitely the worst map from the entire series. Even worse than the 5-minute maps that we've made, but it's also been the map that's taught me the most about Wonder Draft. Oops. And so not all is lost here, not all is a shame. Because I have learned to be a better cartographer through this harrowing, mind-numbing experience here with you all. There we go. I do want to find some of those little solo patches. I forget where in the order of stamps they are. There. I'm going to put that there. I think this one's... yeah, it's this way. Yep, something like that. And I think now that this abomination's in our world, we have to go to symbols and we have to make some little symbols. So we're gonna save really quickly. I'm also going to go ahead and do an export as day 21. Now, oh, wrists hurt. Day 21, we're gonna go to our symbols. We're gonna go to our cities, just like this, and we're just gonna place some towns down. I like to use 55 for this, but I think for this map it's gonna be 45 just because it's a little bit too big. And we're gonna place our settlements down, yeah. This almost reminds me of like a Pokemon style map. Very much reminds me of a Pokemon style map. And you know, this is a little bit of a boring area, but it's okay. It's okay to have some boring areas going on. Because we've got so many interesting areas going on. Like, taken by itself, this area looks really nice. Taken by itself, like, this area could look pretty interesting. It's just kind of taken as the whole that I'm disappointed in the map, but I shouldn't be so hard on it. I shouldn't be so hard on myself here. This is a good map. This is a very good map. And yeah, I think that about does it. Well, friends, thank you so much for watching. I've been Jay the Silent Cartographer. If you enjoy this map, and you would like to use it in your own private role-playing games and not sell it on the internet, because I'm not giving you permission to do that, you can go and download it in the Imgur link down below. This has been number 21 of Daily Maps, which means we've been doing this officially for 3 weeks now. Every single day making a map, and it's been super cool to sit down and do something creative every single day. I mean, some days we've cut it pretty close, and I'm sure some days in the future I'll also cut it very close. But yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it so far. Let me know what you think of the series in the comments section down below. If you made it this far, let me know that you watched the whole thing, because that's kind of incredible in its own right. And I will... oh god, now I get the hiccups. I will see you tomorrow for map number 22. Probably going to be something in Dungeon Draft. Yeah, thanks so much for watching and have an amazing day.